Well, hello, lovely humans, and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching this on Wedding Chicks or over on Facebook, thank you so much for stopping by. Disclaimer, I had no idea what I was gonna film for this week. So I got a wild hair and I went out and I had to go grocery shopping and I went to Trader Joe's and I saw all of these gorgeous fall florals and I thought, what the heck? Let's do a fall floral bouquet. And yes, I'm literally squatting because I couldn't find a tripod at the right height to make this whole thing work. And yes, it's nighttime because I couldn't get my act together to get this filmed earlier. Welcome to another side of Jamie. So I was really inspired by all of these fall colors that I saw and I wanted to incorporate some of them into a DIY floral bouquet. Now, is this the best bouquet I've ever made in my life? Nah. And if you are gonna do this yourself, I highly recommend that you practice. So we'll pretend that this is the practice bouquet. But I'm pretty darn thrilled with how it came together. So without further ado, let's jump right on in. The supplies you're going to need. You are going to need a pair of shears, or if you're like me, that's meant for chicken bones, but I can't find any shears at the moment. Some waterproof floral tape, some floral wire, and some more waterproof floral tape, but this is the stretchy kind, and you're actually gonna want this because it helps to hold everything in place, I think. I don't know, it's just what they use. For my flowers, I went to Trader Joe's. I'm obsessed with Trader Joe's. I love everything that they sell. Oh, I'm completely out of focus. Man, we also have a lens situation going on today. My son, 18-month-old little glorious human that he is, pulled my camera off of the counter. So we actually lost the lens that I normally film with. So right now I'm just kind of like making it up as I go along. I've got the overhead shot, so hopefully all of this together we'll get it figured out. But right now, you're pretty close to my face and I don't know how I feel about it. The show must go on, you know? Show must go on. So for florals, I picked up a lot of different stuff, but the main thing that I really wanted to work with was this protea, or protea? I actually really love the soft kind of velvety texture that this offers. I love the coloration. We've got some pinks, we've got almost like a peachy tone to it, and some really light greens that I think will be really fun to play with. So this is my focal flower. I also got stock. I stinking love, oh, I hope I just didn't get lip gloss on that. Nope. No, we're good. Also, I'm not wearing lip gloss, I'm just wearing lipstick, so there's no way I could get lip gloss on that. Now, this particular one has seen better days, but you know what? It's okay. I like that this isn't a pure white, it's more of like an ivory or a yellow white. I think it works a whole lot better for the overall look that I'm going for. Next on my list are spray roses. I think spray roses are so delicate and so sweet, and I picked these out for their peachy pink color. Peachy pink color because I thought they went really well with the protea and the stock. So we're kind of going with like a warm orangey pinky direction. Next one I picked, and it was kind of random, but I picked this red orange fuchsia. Also smells really good. Also didn't get lip gloss on this one, so slaying the game here. And it's just got this fiery orangey red color to it. Oh, I love it. And I love the little buds that are coming out of the top. No, it seems like I'm going in a random direction with this, but I promise once you get all the colors together, it's gonna work. And then I got this wacky little number, which is this right here. I don't even know what it is. It's just so cool. So these are just this little ball type. They remind me of Billy balls or Crispedia. The next floral I have is this thing. I don't know what it is. Again, like with that last one, if I can figure out what it is, I will write it right here, or I'll leave it in the description box below. But this one has a very soft, delicate texture. It reminds me a lot of like Queen Anne's lace, but I know that's not what this is. But like it has the same softness to it. It's a great alternative to baby's breath because it provides a nice pop of color and some really light yellow green, which I think will lend really nicely to the end look that we're going for. Next, moving on to greenery, which is always so exciting. I'm obsessed with greenery. I like it a whole lot. Seeded eucalyptus. Now, I'm gonna say something, and it's gonna be a little blasphemous. I'm getting a little over eucalyptus.
Say what?
I know, I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people out there that like it. When you do as many weddings as I do and you see eucalyptus weekend after weekend after weekend, sometimes it gets to be a little bit much. But for this particular arrangement, I just had to have it. I really wanted to pull in that burgundy color that you see right there on the stem. And again, to kind of repeat that same texture that we saw in this bad boy. So I felt like this would be a great option to kind of throw on in there, and it would help pull out some of the lighter greens that you see kind of hinted at in the Protea. Next bit of greenery is this. Again, I don't know what it is. Words here or description box below. Well, I don't know. Or you'll never find out, and it's just gonna be like, great, go to Trader Joe's. Now, what I've gone ahead and already done is I've already processed the flowers, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that means. Now, processing the flowers, if you're going to do your own, you should get them several days in advance. So like if you have a Saturday wedding, get them on Wednesday so you can trim off all the extra little bits that you don't need. So for this particular one, on the spray roses, I'm just taking off all of the extra leaves. If you watch my DIY centerpiece video, then you know that like I have a little bit of experience when it comes to flowers, but not a lot. So hopefully this will translate really well for people who don't know what they're doing with flowers, and because I most certainly don't. But one thing that I did on that video is I took off all the leaves from the hydrangeas because I know that they don't fare well. When it comes to the rest of the flowers, I'm not entirely sure how their leaves will do in a display, so I just take them off because the last thing that I would want is something to look tired or dying, so I'm just gonna stick with the greens that I know are gonna survive. And ideally, when you're processing your flowers, you would get them, obviously, again, a few days ahead of time and put them in water and give them about 24 hours to really, really open up. Because you wouldn't want to put together an entire display with really, really tight roses and then have them open up and then they just smush everything else. Because one, that's a waste of flowers, and two, then your whole schematic or like layout is all off, you know? Now that I've gone ahead and processed all of these, I'm gonna start putting together my floral display. What I like to do is I like to start focused mentally and camera-wise with my focal point floral. So for me, that happens to be the Protea. So I'm gonna grab that, and this one has a very severe bend to the stem, and like nothing I'm gonna do is gonna be able to make that move. So it's also something to kind of keep in mind when you're working with florals. If they have a bend to them, there's nothing you can do about it. Just gotta kind of embrace it. Next, I'm gonna go in with a couple of accent flowers. And for me, in this particular situation, it's going to be the spray roses. Tuck those on either side. And I'm pulling them really far down so they're pretty close to the base, to the base of this. I pull the bouquet away from me, or the budding bouquet, if you will, away from me so I can kind of consistently get a look at what I'm doing. So right now, I've got some spray roses coming up over the side right here and some coming off the side right here. As you're going through this, you're going to be adding a couple flowers, then adding a couple greens. Flowers, then greens, and kind of going back and forth to make sure you have a good balance as you're moving forward. Next, I'm going to grab a bit of stock, just kind of start building up my display. One little trick, when you're holding the stems in your hands, make sure to hold them firmly but loosely, because that makes perfect sense, right? But really, you want to hold them firmly but loosely. You need to be able to wiggle flowers in and out at any given time, or raise something up or move it down, depending on what the aesthetic is that you're going for. So hold them with a firm grip while you can, or when you need to, but also be sure to lessen it just a bit in case you need to scoot something around. So right now, got a bit of that going on. Move so you can see it better. I personally am a huge fan of having a back to a bouquet. And the reason that I do that, or that I like doing that, is because it gives you, one, reasoning to not waste all the good flowers in the back, and two, a good backdrop for the rest of what you have going. So I just grabbed that seeded eucalyptus, and I like how we have more length on this side and less on this side. I like an unbalanced bouquet. Next, going in with my hibiscus. I'm gonna give this bad boy some antennas, because I can. I guess I shouldn't say I like an unbalanced bouquet. I like a bouquet that's balanced but like asymmetrical. Does that help you at all? So here's what we've got going on right now. Ugh, I wish this Protea wasn't so bent. Now going in with the burgundy greenery that shall not be named because I don't know what its name is. The great tutorial, it's so informative. Just gonna throw a couple sprigs of that in there as well. So here's what I'm seeing with what I'm working with right now. I've got a hole right here, and I definitely don't want that. So I'm gonna pull out these spray roses and work them back in just a second. I'm also gonna start pulling some of the stems from everything else in front of the Protea because it's so big that I'm having trouble figuring out how to work around it. Okay, and now I'm gonna switch everything up. This is one of the reasons that you really, if you are doing your own florals for your wedding day, you do really, really need to practice, because you want to give yourself time and space to figure out what you like best and what really works well for your aesthetic. Flowers are not easy. They're not cut and dry. I'm so punny today. They take finesse, and if you had a protea show up like this on your wedding day, it could throw off the whole balance of your bouquet, so you really want to give yourself time to practice and really get to know kind of how flowers work and the specific flowers that you're working with. I'm gonna turn around because I can't. Going in with that yellow bit. Do I want that in the middle? Perhaps this side. I'm gonna put it off to this side. I may move it a little bit, but I kind of want to balance out all of the seeds that we have going on over here. So because this one has like a very strange stalk to it, but they're all really short, I kind of have to keep them all on there or trim off the ones that I don't want when I'm putting it into my bouquet. So I'm coming at it from the back like this and kind of wiggling it on in there. Pops of orange all around the bouquet. Look at that. How fun is that? Next, I'm going to take the bits of freesia and pull some of that red orange up. That good? Okay, so now I feel like I need some red orange over here. Okay, so now I'm gonna take another piece of that ruscus, put it there. I'm gonna try it there. I feel like we need one more bit green here. Here's kind of what I currently have going on. We have a pretty decent balance. That protea is now down on the bottom corner. I'm okay with it. I don't love it, but you know, if I had my way, it'd be nice up front and center, but it's just not seeming to want to stay there. And that's okay. That's one of the deals about working with natural flowers and trying to figure this out as a non-professional is you just kind of have to accept whatever the flowers end up doing as you're working with them. You also have to accept whatever you've been given. So if that means that you get a wonky protea and you just kind of got to deal with it, then you just kind of got to deal with it. Let's see if I have any more ruscus because I really want to pull in more of that dark green. Stick one there and one there. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out. I'm just gonna raise up those spray roses a little bit, turn that stock, raise these up a smidge. Honestly, I did not expect it to go this well. If I'm being totally honest, I didn't. I didn't think it would go this well. So now comes the scary part. You gotta figure out how to keep it all together. So I'm gonna go with my trusty floral wire. The reason I'm starting with floral wire is because I just want to make sure that there's a bunch of security here before I start taping it down. I'm gonna wrap that wire around the smallest portion of the bouquet and twist that in the back. Just gives me some nice stability. Then taking this floral tape, I'm gonna start right about here. And I'm gonna start here. I think this floral tape may have dried out. Okay, let's just get it started. Let's see if we can go from there. So this particular floral tape, the glue is activated when you stretch it, or it becomes stickier when you stretch it. But I'm pulling too hard and I keep ripping it. I wonder if this one's too old. Go ahead and keep wrapping around. Okay. Leave that there for now. This is kind of where we're at. So now I'm gonna go in with my chicken cutter and just clean up the ends. Oh, I think. Yeah. Hi! What's that? Okay, so we got a baby now, because that's what happens. And it is almost bedtime, so let's pray we can make it through this video. Can you help mommy make it through this video? You have a dog hair on your face. Fun fact, I've actually heard that you can... Well done. You can't have the camera. You wanna get down? You can get down. If you happen to like any particular ones, I do believe that you can put an order in with Trader Joe's, much like you can actually with Costco or potentially even your grocery store. So when it comes to DIYing your own florals, get in there, practice. Practice with the exact flowers that you think you want to use on your wedding day. Watch how they behave. Get them a couple days ahead of time. Go crazy. For me, I think flowers happen to be really actually cathartic. I really, really enjoy creating flowers and putting stuff together. And while this may not be my favorite bouquet I've ever made, it was a whole lot of fun to do. Are you sweeping behind me? My toddler has a broom. Go Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you want me to DIY any more florals. Now, couple of notes. 1, practice, 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 practice. 2, pay more attention to some of these petals. Like if I was really taking my time with this, I would have pulled off some of the more dead looking petals on the spray roses, perhaps on some of the freesias. But since I was in a rush to get this done, because I'm hungry and I want some dinner, I left them on there for now. But just something to keep in mind, you're gonna wanna pay attention to all of the petals because if they look kind of crummy now, they're gonna look awful in about a day when you walk down the aisle. Another thing, don't forget to have ribbon. Do as I say, not as I do. This is not a good, cute, finished look. You definitely want to put something there to cover some of it up, cover up some of the mechanics. Guys, this is just an encouragement to you. Go out, grab some flowers, have fun with it. You may want to make flowers for your wedding day. That's awesome, but I do definitely encourage you to practice. And heck, you may practice and you may go, nope, not for me. I don't like it. And that's okay too. You never know until you try. But for Trader Joe's flowers, I'm pretty darn happy. So that's all we have for today, folks. Thank you so much for stopping by. As always, a huge shout out to my gal pals over at Wedding Chicks for hosting this video, and until next week, bye guys!